Hello, my dear children. Welcome to our channel. Today, let's read the adventurous tale of Layla and the lost magical treasure. Make sure to stick around till the end, because I have a surprise for all of you. In a little village that cuddled between green hills and tall mountains, there lived a kind and brave girl named Layla. She always wore colorful blue clothes and loved exploring deep forests, solving puzzles, and reading books about old legends. Her favorite place was her grandmother's cozy cottage filled with antique furniture and mysterious artifacts. One sunny afternoon, while looking for inspiration for her next adventure, Layla climbed up the attic stairs to explore this dusty wonderland. Suddenly, her eyes fell upon a big wooden chest tucked away in the corner. With a pounding heart, she lifted the heavy lid. Inside lay an old yellowed map made of papyrus, with strange symbols and markings. Layla carefully unrolled it and gasped in amazement. The map had an X marking the spot of a hidden treasure, along with a drawing of a dense forest, a wide river, and a giant tree with a small door. Curiosity bubbling inside of her, Layla ran downstairs to ask her grandmother about the map. "Grandma, what does this map mean? And where can I find a giant tree with a door in its trunk?" The old woman stroked her long white beard and said with a mysterious smile, "That map leads to a magical treasure lost hundreds of years ago. Only the most clever and courageous can find it." "But what's the catch, Grandma?" Layla asked. "The path is fraught with danger and difficult challenges," her grandmother said. "Will you still go, of course?" Layla replied bravely. "I won't let a little danger stop me. Will you come with me, Tota?" "Tota," she asked, turning to her clever pet turtle, who was basking in a patch of sunlight. Tota nodded and slowly began to make his way toward the door. Layla took a deep breath and stepped outside, ready for her great adventure. She packed some useful supplies in her bag, a strong rope, a bright lantern, and some food for her and Tota. After saying goodbye to her grandmother, Layla set off toward the forest. It wasn't long before she and Tota reached the edge of the woods. Before them stood a wide and rushing river, its water sparkling in the sunlight. Layla frowned, wondering how to get to the other side. Then she noticed some tangled tree roots that reached out from the bank like gnarled fingers. "What a perfect solution," she exclaimed. "We can use the rope to secure these roots and make a bridge." Together, Layla and Tota worked quickly to tie off the rope to the roots, creating a sturdy lifeline across the river. Satisfied with their handiwork, Layla untied the first knot and stepped onto the makeshift bridge. It swayed slightly with her weight, but held firm. Taking a deep breath, she continued to cross until she reached the other side. Hand in hand, Layla and Tota followed the map's directions, venturing deeper and deeper into the forest. After walking for a while, they heard the sound of birdsong and the rustling of leaves overhead. Pushing through a thick bush, they found themselves in a clearing bathed in soft sunlight. And there in front of them stood a giant tree with a small door carved into its trunk. Layla's eyes widened in amazement. Could this be the legendary tree from the map? As she approached, she noticed strange symbols and markings carved into the tree's bark. "Open me if you can, but do not touch me." Layla pondered the riddle, racking her brain for an answer. Suddenly, she remembered an old story about magical doors that could only be opened with cleverness and wit. But this door wasn't just any ordinary one. It was part of a giant tree. So how could she open it without touching it? Layla's eyes fell upon the ground at her feet, and she had a brilliant idea. She would not touch the door, but instead touch the ground around it. Quickly, she rushed to dig a small hole in the soil near the tree's roots. And with a final heave, she managed to move the dirt aside. Lo and behold, beneath the surface lay a small key. Excitedly, Layla picked it up and inserted it into the keyhole. With a click, the door swung open, revealing a dark and mysterious space behind it. Taking a deep breath, Layla stepped inside. The air was still and silent, and the only light came from the faint rays of sun that peeked through cracks in the door. As her eyes adjusted to the darkness, she noticed a chest in the corner of the room. It was adorned with intricate carvings, and 3 locks secured it shut. On closer inspection, Layla saw that each lock had a riddle inscribed beside it. The first lock was easy. "Green in spring, yellow in autumn. What am I?" Layla thought for a moment. "A leaf," she answered, and the first lock clicked open. The second lock posed a trickier challenge. "It walks without legs and makes noise without a mouth." "What is it?" Layla pondered for a bit. Then she had a realization. A clock, she said, and the second lock clicked open. Only one lock remained. The more you take from it, the bigger it grows. What is it? Layla racked her brain but couldn't figure out the answer. Suddenly, Totowa poked his head out from under Layla's skirt and said, I know the answer. It's a hole. Confused, Layla looked at the lock again. Then she understood. The more she tried to figure out the answer, the bigger the riddle grew in her mind. But once Tota said it, everything became much simpler. With a click, the last lock opened, and Layla felt a surge of triumph. Carefully, she lifted the lid. But instead of finding piles of gold or precious gems, she saw an old book resting inside. Layla opened it, and the pages contained these wise words. The treasure is knowledge, courage, and friendship. Layla couldn't help but laugh. She realized that the real treasure had been the journey itself, filled with exciting challenges and shared laughter with her pet turtle. Suddenly, the clearing around her seemed brighter, and she could hear the sound of distant cheering. As she emerged from the forest, she saw that she had returned to her village. Everyone had gathered to welcome her back, and they cheered when they saw her safe and sound. Layla smiled and waved back. She then went to her grandmother's house and told her about her exciting adventure. They sipped hot cocoa while Layla described the riddles and the magnificent giant tree. And that's when I realized, Layla said, that the greatest treasure isn't gold or jewels, but the wonderful friends we share adventures with. Layla and her grandmother shared a warm hug, and Layla knew that her journey had not just been about finding a treasure, but about growing as a person, facing fears and discovering the true meaning of friendship. From that day forward, Layla continued to explore the world with Toto by her side, always eager to embark on new adventures and learn valuable lessons along the way. And whenever she faced a challenge, she remembered the words from the magical book. Knowing that knowledge, courage, and friendship were the greatest treasures of all. Now it's time for you to embark on your own adventures. Go explore the world with curiosity and kindness, and always remember to stay true to yourself. Just like Layla, thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this magical tale, don't forget to hit the like button for more enchanting stories and educational content. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any of our exciting adventures. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and always believe in the magic of friendship and knowledge. Goodbye.